Okay, I started building home-based businesses and online businesses in late 2008. And just to give you the backstory behind that, I've been a pastor now for over 20 years. I had just started a ministry in Corpus Christi, Texas, had no job, no outside financial support, and I was trying to figure out how to support our family using home-based businesses and using the internet. So along the way, made a lot of mistakes. Once I really locked into the principles I'm going to teach you, that's when everything really began to transform. And that's when I've been able to build multiple successful businesses, not just home-based businesses, but even business-to-business enterprises, a real estate business, but all using these same principles. So what I'm going to teach you really are principles you can apply to just about any business, but in particular, they're going to be extremely effective in the home business and online business world. So let me explain to you what generally happens. Somebody gets a new home-based business or a new online business, and immediately they start friending every friend and stranger they can think of on Facebook, and they just begin to barf all over them with their deal. So even here a few minutes ago, I had a lady from the United Kingdom messaging me, telling me we had so much in common and would I like to earn an extra 6 or 7 figures this year. I don't even know who she is. She friended me yesterday. Needless to say, I'm not going to be talking with her much longer. So let's get into how to really do this correctly and how to do this effectively. Because I don't want you to just do it correct. I want you to be effective so that when you take on a home-based business, it's not another failure on the chart, which, by the way, realize that in my journey, I've probably been a part of at least 10 or 12 home-based businesses that either the company folded, went belly up, disappeared, or I just simply couldn't get it together. So everybody goes through that experience. You're not the only one. But let's get into this. First thing first is you need to understand why. Why are you doing this? What is your motivation for doing this? You know, everybody says, I'd like more freedom. Well, that's too vague. What does that really mean? So for me, in 2008, what it really came down to is I need to pay about $3,000 worth of bills every month, and I need to figure out how to make this business work so I can do that, so I can be free to do my ministry. And I'll tell you, I didn't figure that out overnight. It took several years to figure that out. So that was one of the first things that came about is I had to understand my reason why. But my bigger reason why was my ministry is working with indigenous church and community leaders in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and India. That's really what I love. That's what I love doing. If I could do anything all day long, that's what I'd be doing. That's my reason why. And so I had to tap into that. I had to understand that for me not to make this business work, man, I was not going to get to do the real thing I was most passionate about. So understand your why. And once you understand your why, you're able to communicate your why to other people. And when people hear your why, those that are meant to walk along with you on this journey, they're going to resonate with that why. Second part of this ties right in. What is your story? What's the story of why you're doing this? What's the story of your journey? How did you arrive at this particular business at this particular time? What is it you're wanting to accomplish? What is it you've been able to accomplish? Start telling your story. The truth is, stories sell, facts tell. Stories sell, facts tell. Getting a little confused there. So, tell your story. People resonate with stories because they stir the emotions. And most buying decisions are made with emotion first and supported by logic second. So latch into that. Third thing, when you meet a prospect, when you meet anybody, get to know their heart. Get to know what's their goal. What is it they really want to accomplish in life? What is it that they're really after? What's kind of funny is I've had 2 people pitch me on Facebook in the last 2 days, throwing out income numbers that I'm supposed to be impressed with. What they don't realize is I already do well above that every month. And so they're actually throwing out a number that's almost insulting because I already do that every month. I go well beyond that. So they didn't take the time to understand me, to understand my goals, to understand my family, my business, my ministry. Had they taken the time to understand those things, that conversation could have been a lot different. So once you understand their goals, what is it that you're working towards? What would you love to happen? Well, I'd love to stay home with my children. Great. That's the goal. How come you want to do that? Because I believe I can do a better job with them than the school system does. Now, of course, right now with the quarantines, that hadn't been true for everybody. But what's their goal? I've got friends who are about the same age I am, coming up on 50, right around 50, that they've done the career thing now for 30 years, and they're ready to do something significant with their life. They'd like to travel. They'd love to do philanthropic work, mission work. The challenge is they got to figure out how to do that. What it really comes down to is who's going to pay my health insurance, and can I make enough money to support the lifestyle that I have? And so that becomes their challenge. So now I know what their goal is. I know what their challenge is. It's time to bring my expertise in. How can I be the expert in your life? How can I bring value that is going to move you closer to your goal and break through your challenge? And so this isn't me pitching out my product. This isn't me prospecting them. This isn't me soliciting them for business. This is me just simply sharing what I know from my experience. That's one of the great things about this journey. I've been on this home business journey now since 2008. I've got 12 years into this thing, and I've seen ups and I've seen downs, and I've seen what works and what doesn't work. I've used the internet. I've done it offline. I have a lot of expertise to draw from. Not only that, I've been a pastor for over 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I'm a former police officer. I've got a lot of experience to pull from. And so what I need to do is I need to take that expertise and I need to start sowing into their lives, not expecting anything in return, but simply becoming the trusted expert in their life. I always love to give this illustration. If Dr. Oz is on Oprah today and he suggests that everybody drink prune juice to lose weight, prune juice is going to sell out. Why? Because people have made him the expert in their lives. And so what you want to become is the expert in the life of your audience, in the life of those you interact with, in the life of those you would like to do business with. Your expertise needs to be so valuable that nobody could bear the thought of losing you, and they would miss you if you were gone. And that's the reality of who you've got to be. You've got to bring that expertise and experience to bear to help these individuals fulfill their goals and get through the challenges, the things that are keeping them from their goals. You know, my friends that are 50 years old in that area, been in the career world for 30 years, they're wanting to do something more significant with their life. The one thing they all know in their head is they've got a clock ticking. Do I have 20 years? Do I have 25 years? Do I have 30, 35 years? How much time do I have left? I don't know. I want to make this time count. So my conversations have to be about making the time count, helping them achieve their goals. Number 6, what we want to build is deep relationships. Get to know people. One of the things I've been doing during the quarantine is I have close to 5,000 people connected to me on Facebook. So every day I spend about an hour to 2 hours and I just send out messages. Hey, we've been connected for a long time. I haven't talked to you in a while. How you doing? How can I be praying for you? What's going on in your life? Old friends. Hey, it's been a few years since we chatted. What's going on with you? What's new? People that haven't talked to me before. Hey, we've been connected on Facebook for a long time. Tell me about yourself. Let's put the social back in social networking. Here's who I am. This is where I live. This is a little bit about my family. Tell me about you. What is happening is I'm building deep relationships. I'm celebrating birthdays and anniversaries and grandkids and children's birthdays and all of those things. At the same time, I've even got people pouring out their lives to me. Things aren't great at home. Would you pray for me? Can you just give me a word of encouragement today? Can you be a blessing to me? In fact, one of these relationships here over the weekend, I messaged her, haven't talked to her in probably 7-8 years. She runs a coffee shop on the East Coast. She'd only had one sale through her website during this pandemic close down. So I did a Facebook Live and I pimped her business, and she generated some orders out of that. Nothing in return, just being a great friend. But because of that, there is a deep relationship. There's a caring, a concern. And that's what people want. They want to know that you care. They don't really care what you know. They want to know how much you care. And so we've got to lean into that. And then finally, that's our opportunity to bring out our solution. So many of my conversations right now is I've got friends telling me, hey, listen, my job is in jeopardy. My business closed down. One of the things I need to do is make sure I'm paying the bills, make sure that I'm able to stay afloat. And my challenge is I need to find some additional streams of income. Can you help me with that? What are you doing these days? And so I tell people, here's my solution. Here's 2 things I'm doing. They work well. I'm getting paychecks every month. Those businesses are growing. Would you like me to show you what they are? Very simple, very passive. Nobody feels like they're being sold. They're asking me, hey, what's your solution? Because you've proven yourself over the years to be an expert. And I trust your motives, and I trust your judgment, and I trust your character. So if you'll apply these 7 things, if you will make this your process as you do your marketing for your home-based business, your online business, you will see your results go exponentially higher. And here's the bigger thing with that. Anybody can do a great call to action who's a good salesman, and people are going to buy. What we really care about is who sticks. And what you're going to find is when you take the time to do these 7 things, people will stick with you for years. And ultimately, that's what creates the real freedom that people seek with a home-based business, the time freedom, the recurring income. Those all come about by investing in these things right here. Hope you have a great day. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you soon.